Hey, I'm ChristopherJMUA and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be swatching, testing out, and reviewing the Melt Cosmetics Amor Y Mariposa eyeshadow palette. So if you'd like to see how it looks, then stay exactly where you are because we're getting into it right now. Here's the unit carton for the Melt Cosmetics Amor Y Mariposas eyeshadow palette. Beautiful looking starburst coming from the butterfly and the heart with the seashell above it. It's just gorgeous. Then on the back, it's pretty much just flat gold, but then there's some ingredient lists at the bottom. Now let's see what the actual palette looks like. Oh wow, when you first open it up, the inside of it is velvety. That's really neat. Very luxe. Lets me know that my $70 spent on this palette went towards something, at least. And on the Sephora website, the description for the palette says our first ever 20 shade palette filled with vivid jewel and neutral tones inspired by the comforting memories that find you after grieving a loved one loss, reminding you of the vibrancy of life. A message so timely and divine, it has to be a special sign sent just for you. I love how the butterflies and the hummingbirds are raised a little bit, so you can see that they have a reflect to them and everything else is matte. It makes it look very three-dimensional. Same case for the back, the butterflies are again raised a little bit. And now let's see Melt's first ever 20 shade palette. The little butterflies are so cute. They look like they're just hovering right on top of our eyeshadows. The shades look beautiful. It looks very rich and very vivid, but with some must-have neutrals to create a solid base. So I'm really excited to get into this and see what kind of look we can create with it. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you guys in so that we can get started on swatches. The first shade is the shade Celito Lindo, I think. Whoa. Cariño, Sentimientos, Miaiko Kan, Guamuchil, Mensaje, Tequila, I know that one. Te adoro. Sinales, Mesquite, Maria, Mariposas, Abudita, Abrazos, Nueva Vida, Charro, Nube, Almohada, Sagrado, and Pela. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, every single swatch from the Melt Cosmetics Amor Y Mariposas eyeshadow palette. I know you might not be able to see quite clearly the swatches on my arm, so how about we insert a couple of photos as well, one with flash here, and one without flash here. We can't forget about our video close-up. You gotta see all the details of all the shades. I went ahead and primed my eyes while I was off camera. I used the P. Louise base in the shade Rumor 02. It's a little bit lighter than my skin tone, so it should help make bright colors really pop. At least that's what I'm hoping for. Beginning with this really teeny tiny blending brush from Morphe, I'm gonna go into the shade Bella, and she's sort of gonna act as my darkest crease color. Wow, that is some insane pigment. And that is exactly why I love the Melt Cosmetics palettes and formula, because they have so much pigment in them. The only thing that's not my favorite about their formula is usually, and I think it's because they are so pigmented, they are very powdery. So you get a lot of fallout and a lot of kickback in the palette in most shades that I've used from them. But you know what? Sometimes you gotta take the bad with the good, because the good is just so worth it. I feel like with the size of this mirror, I could literally do two people's makeup at the same time, because it's giant. And I'm trying to keep this red section pretty thin so that I can go in with the two other colors I anticipate using on the crease, but this might be too pigmented and I might blow it out and turn the whole thing red. I'm hoping not. We'll find out though. Next, using my Morphe M5 330 brush, it's a pointed blender brush so I can have a little bit more control over it. I'm gonna go into the shade Abuelita. Look at how insanely intense and neon and pigmented that looks. Oh, I hope it looks like that on the eye as well. I'm gonna kind of focus that on the inner corner first, and then blend out the red with it all the way up and around. That's hot. Oh wow, that is really pigmented and really bright and kind of sexy. I guess it's the color combo, kind of the vampier, darker red. It's really doing it for me. And now the tried and true Morphe M506 brush is gonna go into the shade Mensaje, and that's gonna be used to blend out everything that's above the pink and the red. And really gonna compact that in the inner corner first, because that's where I want that bright orangey yellow to be the most saturated, and then just sort of blend it out everywhere else. This is already looking so fun. It's very bright, kind of springy to me, but it could also be like Caribbean summer. The matte shade's now all applied and blended out. Let's throw on some shimmer. Let's live that best life. So I'm gonna use my Morphe M167 brush and the shade Sagrado, I think that's how it's said. And that one's gonna go on the outer half of the lid. Since it's kind of rosy and reddish, I figured it would match that part of the crease. And surprisingly enough, it's picking up pretty well with a flat brush like this. You guys know a lot of the time when we use flat brushes in shimmer or metallic shades, we run into the issue where the brush just slides over the top of the shadow over and over again, and then you have to break it up to really get into the shadow to use it. This doesn't seem to be like that. When I first went into it, it built it up very lightly. It was just kind of a sheer glow, if you will. But it actually works the more and more you add, which is sort of surprising because I really didn't think that was gonna happen that way. I figured I was gonna have to whip out the ring finger application or the sponge tip applicator application. There we are with the beautiful rosiness. Okay, now for the part I'm most excited about. I'm gonna use this Morphe M210 flat brush. It's a little bit smaller, a little bit more compacted than the previous flat brush. And now I'm gonna go into the shade Mariposa. Oh good, she picks up even better on a flat brush. She is a chunky monkey. I bet she's gonna have a ton of fallout, but I bet she's gonna be beautiful. Oh, wow. That is orange perfection. The orange to the rose, they just blended together so perfectly. They melted into each other. This is like orange cranberry juice. I love it, I love it, I love it. Oh, good. Now last but certainly not least, I'm gonna use this Morphe H4 brush. And I'm gonna use this and the shade Tequila as my brow bone highlight. Maybe. It may be way too dark. Wow. No, it's not too dark. Holy crap, it's perfect. Ooh, and that one was kind of chunky when it went on. It was definitely leaving little colored metallic flakes behind. But the moment I went back in with the tiny brush that I used to apply the yellow shade and just blended out the edges, they just disappeared and melted into the rest of the makeup. It still leaves it with this sort of metallic yellow sheen, but it's smooth. That doesn't usually happen with chunky metallic shades like that, so I'm happy about it. I'm gonna go ahead and go off camera and get all of my face makeup done. Then we're gonna come back and finish off the lower lash line and the inner corner highlight. So give me like an hour and a half and you like a millisecond, and I'll be right back. I finally achieved my full face of makeup, but my eye keeps watering so much, so I keep getting this little trail of liquid down the side of my face. So we're gonna go ahead and finish off the lower lash line very quickly before it has time to do that again. Now I'm gonna stick with kind of the same color story, but I'm gonna add one shade I didn't use on top just to break the monotony. Keep it a little more interesting, why not? So I'm gonna start by using this Morphe H6 brush, and again, going into the shade Perla, I'm gonna start applying this shade just across the lower lash line. Now it's between Te Adoro and Señales. They look pretty much identical, but one is a warm version and one is a cool version. They both look like bronzers, actually. I think Te Adoro is the warmer version, so I'm gonna choose that one and use my Ulta Beauty X Harry Potter The Stone brush and try to just get a nice soft smoky blend, maybe. Question mark. Speaking of Harry Potter, if you guys are fans, on HBO Max, if you have the subscription, there's a Harry Potter 20th anniversary Return to Hogwarts special, and it is so good. If you have any kind of heart in Harry Potter like I do, like my entire life growing up, you will appreciate that movie slash show slash documentary slash reminiscing. I don't really know what you would call it. But you see all the characters as they are nowadays, and they talk about just how their experience was during the movie. It's so good. Anyway, back to blending. Oh, that is exactly what I wanted. It makes it just a little more smoky, a lot cleaner looking on this side, and kind of dulls down the vibrancy all the way down to the under eye. Perfectly smoky, I love it. Now I'm gonna pop off camera real quick, finish off my lower lash mascara using my Too Faced Damn Girl mascara, and I'll pop right back and give my final thoughts on the palette. Okay, here it is guys, the finished look using the Melt Cosmetics Amor Y Mariposas eyeshadow palette. So what do you guys think? To me, the look is absolutely so stunning. And you know, going into this video, I was kind of disappointed and sort of discouraged about the fact that the palette was $70. I didn't really take into account the fact that it's 20 shades this time, and Melt doesn't normally have 20 shades, so I kind of understand more so now why the $70 price tag. But going into it, I was just thinking this is gonna be as great as all of the other Melt palettes, but way overpriced because of what it is. I don't think that now. Not even close, because the 20 shades that are in here, as long as the other shades that I didn't use perform as well as the shades that I did use, they're great. They are phenomenal and I love them. I like that you get a ton of versatility in this palette. I mean, you've got a green row, a nude row, kind of, a pink and orange row, kind of, and a really purple plummy row, kind of. You get the general idea though. They're sort of the same kind of color stories within the row, so you can use them that way if you want to. Obviously, I didn't do that. I stuck with as many different color stories as I could, except the green. I was not about to bring the green into this look, so I was really feeling the whole orange, pink, yellow kind of vibe. So all in all, I thoroughly enjoyed this palette. I feel like it is definitely worth it for variety, for value, for price, for quality, just hands down. I loved it. Not like I really expected any different with it being a Melt palette, but there's always that chance and you never know. What do you guys think of the palette? Do you like the color story that it contains? I think it fits this whole theme very perfectly. I mean, to me, this looks like it should have this on the inside. It just fits. So feel free to give me your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. You guys know that I'm always hanging out down there with you, just chilling. You guys know you're my friends and I'm lonely without you, so let's hang out. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to, feel free to leave me a thumbs up just to let me know that you did. Also, if you like this look and you want to see more looks like them, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok. My username is the same for everything. It's just ChristopherJMUA. And if you gain nothing out of this video, If you gain nothing out of any of my videos, then please at least gain this. And that is to always remember and to never forget that you are absolutely beautiful. And I love you guys. Bye.